Once again, good afternoon and welcome to CEO Suite. This is our first time to host a media, like what Chari said. This is our first time to host a media and bloggers event, and we are so privileged to have all of you here. So from now on, treat CEO Suite as one of your homes. So anytime you're welcome to visit us here if you need work office and space solutions. So let me introduce to you who CEO Suite is. Kanina po may mga nakausap na akong mga kasama natin sa na vloggers. So probably this will help you get to know us better. Okay. So our vision, our mission, and our values, these are the things we strive for. These are the things that guide us, and they serve as our pillars in giving services and in honoring our commitments to our clients. So we stand by our vision to become the first choice for global workplace solutions. If you would be checking our profile po, we are present in the Asian region only. So you might be wondering why global, diba? Because the term global would connote everywhere in the globe, kahit anong continent. But in terms of practices, we ensure that we provide global practices, and we have several networks across all the continents and regions of the world. So, ang president po namin, si Ms. Mi Kim, has various networks all over the globe. That's why she's able to connect our business partners and even our clients across all regions of the globe. Kaya nga, we aim to be the first choice in the global industry. Workplace solutions, because as we know, kahit po kayo, di ba, ang mga trabaho nyo po, kahit nasa bahay lang kayo, you could deliver your results na sa work. So, ganun din po si CEO Suite. It does not anymore pertain na kailangan meron kang physical office para masabi mo lang that you are a professional business partner or what, di ba? But, of course, sometimes, especially yung mga startup companies natin, they are still seeking for a professional representation. So we have services like virtual office service, which will be introduced later by my colleague. Kaya this is one of the workplace solutions. So marami pong pwedeng i-introduce si CEO Suite that could suit the need of our clients. That's why it's workplace solutions. Now, in order for us to achieve our vision, we are guided by our mission. That is to be an enabler of excellence for our clients, our team, and our community. We chose the word enabler. You are all writers. We were very particular with the term enabler. Pwede naman namin sabihin na we want to excel, diba? We want to give best or excellent service, but we specifically chose enabler, which means to make it happen, to initiate, to be the catalyst, diba? Kasi po gusto naming mangyari that in helping our clients achieve operations and business success, we will be there to assist them, to make it happen for them. However impossible things are, we will make it possible for them. And not only for our clients, but more so for our team members as well, in developing their careers, their career aspirations, what they want to do in life. Kasi dito po sa CEO Suite, we make our colleagues also as business partners. So any one of us, pag may naisip na business, we can suggest it to our management team at pwedeng i-develop yung idea na yun into another service that could address the needs of our clients. For example, in my case, although we offer service office, no, pero I'm sure pag startup companies, they would be needing hiring services, training services. We could offer that as well to our clients. Same goes with our accounting division. Syempre, pag startup ka pa lang, hindi naman agad-agad, meron kang accounting division, right? So we could offer them accounting services, taxation, business registration. So that's what we meant with being an enabler of excellence. Same goes with our community, because we are also active with corporate social responsibilities. So wherever we are, wherever our presence are, we are actively participating with funding scholarships, ganyan, or sa mga women advocacies, because mostly our company is dominated by women workers. And our president, Ms. Minky, is very empowering when it comes to women. So, Guiding us in achieving our vision and mission are our values. So it is represented with the term scoot. As we know, di ba, pag nagsuscooter ka, it coins fast, convenience, di ba, kahit saan pwede kang sumingit. So that's why the first in our row of values is sense of urgency. We do not just work on our own pace, but we try to catch up with the pace of our clients. So kahit especially if they are foreign companies, kahit gabi dito pero umaga sa kanila, we want to make sure that we are addressing to their needs. And we are very flexible at that. And we care about our clients and our colleagues as well. So kahit nagmamadali tayo sa ginagawa natin, we are very careful and we are very sensitive if this is what they really want and what they really need. It's not about us, but about the clients or the colleagues that we work with. And we are open to suggestions, we are open to new ideas, we are also open to criticisms. Like in your case, kung meron po kayong gustong isuggest sa amin, or meron po kayong gustong, when you have bright ideas, especially you that you have been interacting with a lot of industries na may nakikita kayo, we are welcome to hear your suggestions. And then ownership. So in terms of ownership, we practice absolute accountability po. So hindi po, our practice is we do not point each other's fingers kung meron pagkakamali. Inaako namin yun, especially with how we deal with our clients. And of course, because of that, we develop that culture of trust. Because we are open, we are transparent, alam namin na walang hidden agenda ang isa't isa. Same goes with our clients po. So, unlike with other industries na pag nag-sign ka ng contract, mabibigla ka na lang. Parang Meralco bill to, di ba? Makikita mo, bakit laki-laki ng aking bill? Ano, saan nangyari to? So, for us here, our managers would discuss everything down to the last penny that you are paying. Alam mo kung saan mapupunta. And we hate negative surprises. Kung may surprises man, kailangan it would be for good vibes. Okay? And lastly, teamwork. We value teamwork. So as you can see, all of us here are present. We are welcoming you here. Same goes with whenever we have team buildings or other projects, all our team members are always present. We are engaging everyone with whatever the company is executing or dealing with. So again, these are our vision, mission, and values. These are our pillars of what we do, and our service standards are guided by all this. Okay, we have been in the business for 18 years now. It is said po, used to be for a company to be treated as a great company, kailangan mag-reach muna ng 50 years or 100 years. But now, according to Forbes, maka-reach ka lang ng 18 years, you could be treated as a great company kasi madaming sa una, full blast ang operations, bonggang-bongga, but after 5 years, nag-close down na. Diba? So, we are so blessed that CEO Suite has reached 18 years of its existence. We started in 1997. How it started, it is through the vision of our president, Ms. Mi Kim. She used to work for another service office company, but she realized that her values are not aligned with her personal values. So what she did, she resigned and hired her own self. So hinire niya po yung sarili niya, she established her own company and put up a small business center in Jakarta. She's a Korean, but she married a Indonesian guy. So that's where it all started. And now, naka-18 centers na siya all over Asia. And actually po, what's good about this company is that money does not really matter sa aming president. Her vision is just to really provide employment, provide office solutions for startup companies because the industries that she needed to go from one bank to another bank just to establish her own business. Of course, we try to provide the best solutions, but at the same time, we make sure that the solutions we provide are the most competitive in the industry. So now we are present in Jakarta, in Indonesia, in Shanghai, in Beijing, in Kuala Lumpur, in Bangkok, in Korea, and later on it will be discussed by Chari, our upcoming center in Hanoi. So, to know more about how we started, let me present to you this video of our president, Ms. Kim. Thank you for listening.
Kamukha niya na. Oo, test lang.
Regarded as the top CEO in the service office market for 16 years, Kim Eun-mi. Also known as Mi Kim in Southeast Asia, she is recognized as a successful CEO with branches all over Asia. She has won a number of awards, including the Female Leader of the Future and the Global Female Enterpriser. After constantly tackling new challenges to become the leader in the service office market, she is now operating 14 branches in 8 cities around Asia. Learn about her secrets to success and her difficult journey to get to where she is today. First of all, I'd like to welcome you to my show, The Interview. It's such a pleasure to meet with you.
Nice meeting you, Sujan. Thanks for having me.
Sure. I'd like to ask you about service officers, because I think that a lot of people may be unfamiliar with what that might be. Could you explain that to us?
Yeah, sure. It's a pretty new concept here in Korea. Service office, as it is, it's office fully serviced. It comes furnished, equipped, and also comes with a team of people who manage the office. Here in Korea, it is known as residence. In those days, say if you want to open your own business here in Korea or say in Hong Kong, you have to do it from the scratch. To start with, you need to locate the building, you have to sign the lease for a few years normally.
Yes.
Then you have to design the office, fit it in, order the furniture.
There's a lot of real
A lot of work. Install telephone lines, internet, server rooms, and hire the people. So it will take a lot of your time and energies and pain as well. So we provide the office which is already set, ready to use, just like as you check in the hotel.
I see.
You could come in, check in 5 minutes. You have your own office with your own secretary, manager, key ladies, you name it.
It sounds great for anyone who wants to start a business, or maybe they're starting a business in another country where they're not really familiar with the layout of the land, and it seems like that would be a great option to just start business right away.
Especially nowadays, the business environment is changing very fast, unpredictable. The biggest risk is commitment. So as you lease your own office, you need to commit as long as 3 years. And you also have to hire people permanently. And that commitment costs a lot of money to your business. So with the service office, your commitment is as short as an hour, a day, or a week.
So let's say that I have a business of my own, it's incorporated, but I want to use your office for 2 weeks while I'm here in Korea. Then is it possible just to rent your offices for 2 weeks only?
Even 1 hour.
1
You
hour.
check in 5 minutes, you'll be ready with your own phone number, own secretary, server room, you name it.
That's fantastic. Wow.
Especially when you travel to a foreign country where you have to deal with language barriers,
Yes.
culture shock, because you have very limited knowledge and resources. And that's where we cut in.
I'd like to ask, who are your main clients for your business?
Mostly multinational from all over the world, Korea Center alone, we have more than 20 different companies from 20 different nations. All over the world, more than 50 nations. Just to name a few, Goldman Sachs, ExxonMobil, Coca-Cola, even Prada, Ritz-Carlton Hotel, IT, finance, oil and gas industry, service sector, all kinds.
So we're not talking just small companies that are unable to afford business startup facilities. We're talking about really heavy hitter large companies who choose to have an office in your facility.
Yes, a lot of those Korean conglomerates like Samsung, LG, GS, SK are our clients in other locations, but we also try to meet everybody's pocket. Of course, office space is kind of pricey because that's the location where we pick. Normally they have the highest rental in each town. But those people who have a very limited budget, or those people who doesn't want to have a full-time office, they could always use a virtual office, which they can print on their business card just by using our business address and phone number and use as they need basis, hourly or even weekly. So we call it VIP membership. So by joining one location, they can instantly gain access to 14 centers in 8 cities.
Where do you have your company?
Beijing, Shanghai, we have Pudong Fuji 2 centers in Shanghai, Bangkok, Manila, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, here in Korea. So all in 8 cities, and we're hoping to enter Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi this year.
I see. So what do you attribute to the success of the service office? Because it seems like it's just a booming industry, and you're one of the few companies that actually do business here.
In fact, there are already few listed companies. One of the companies listed in UK, also Australia, which is my previous company. I think we are the only Asian-based company offering international access. It seems very simple, and a lot of new operators are now appearing in the market. But again, it is not as simple as it looks, because there isn't any professional who can provide this kind of service. When hotel was introduced, say 100 years ago, nobody knows about the hotel, and there was no hotel university to train those professionals. So more or less, it is the same situation. Those people who have all industry experience more or less stay with us within our company for long term, and that really keeps us going to compete with the big operators, because we know what we're doing, and we've been doing this actually forever. Our accumulated experience is over 300 years.
So at this point, we now call our center manager, Ms. Lian Maltas.
Hey, thank you so much for coming, first of all. And everybody okay with your food?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to discuss with you basically our main 3 products for CEO Suite. So that would be offices, virtual offices, and meeting rooms. So let's tackle first service offices. Basically, offices, we have actually 4 kinds underneath. So just to cut it short, and to make it simple, for example, we cater to transients, expats who want to just travel here on a weekly basis and need to stay a weekly, but they don't want to manage such a big space. They just want basically a desk to work on. So we also, we call that a dedicated workstation, wherein they just rent the desk from us. It's situated in a private office, but it's shared by like-minded professionals. Okay, and then the other offices that we have basically would be for a team as small as 2 team members, or as big as if you want 30, 50. But the whole center basically it's 1,080 square meters, comprised of 30 offices. Okay. Offices also, we have 2 types of offices. So offices with windows, we call those external offices, and offices without windows. Now, let's go back to Ms. Mi Kim's comparison with us being a hotel, diba? Parang hotel din siya. Sa hotel, diba, if napansin nyo kung check-in kayo, iba ang price ng ocean view, sa garden view, sa walang view. It's also the same here. So, if you notice a building kung mas prime ang view natin, Bay Area, then of course the rates there are a little bit higher than the ones without. Okay? Then any questions po before we move to virtual offices? Okay. For virtual offices naman, this would be basically you don't have a physical dedicated space here in CEO Suite, but you are having a virtual office. So, virtual office natin, it's actually catering to those startup companies. Actually, for representation purposes. Let's say I want to have my own business and I'm an Instagrammer lang, like you. I sell all my products online, but if, let's say, I would need to supply to a company, for example, for uniforms, then I would have to have a company profile, right? And I cannot put my house address in my company profile because this big company, for example, Convergys call center, they would want me to make their uniforms. Hindi man pwedeng ako yung address ko lang kasi feeling nila parang fly-by-night kang company. So this is where we come in. So we provide you with a prestigious address. So imagine 37th floor, LKG Tower, 6801 Ayala Avenue, Makati City, and your business cards and your website and basically your imagine what this will give to the first impression sa Convergys. So nandun ka na, check ka na agad, first impression pala. Now we have 4 packages actually inside the virtual office. So it basically to tailor fit what you need. Because sometimes you don't really need a phone answering, but you want the address only. So we can provide those. So first package would be just the address only. Second would be telephone answering only, wherein we give you a dedicated telephone number. For example, 859-2988. And then if your clients call that number, we, our team outside, that's Thea, Jan, and Ivy. They are our customer service representatives. They're very professional also because, of course, we have to give that image also with your prestigious address. So we answer it according to your spiel. Thank you for calling, let's say, ABC Corporation. This is Lian. How can we help you? Then we transfer it to your phone number at home. And we transfer it to your mobile number. And basically, let's say you're traveling in Thailand, we can call you also there. Okay. And then next one would be a standard virtual office wherein it's a combination of the address and the telephone answering. Okay. And of course, as a plus, we give you 3 days of private office usage per month here in our center. And the newest package that we have would be called the International Virtual Office. Because we now have 18 centers in Asia Pacific, we would want also our clients to be able to, of course, because it comes with the branding. If you're a CEO, you're basically a client of CEO anywhere. So when you do travel to Bali and you want to tap that market also for now your uniform business, then you can actually go there and you can also use our services from wherever you are. Okay, and then lastly, for meeting rooms, if you notice, we transformed this boardroom of ours. This is actually a boardroom, good for 15 to 25 people. So you can actually rent this on a per hour, half day, or whole day basis. As well as 2 smaller meeting rooms comprised of 2 to 4 person capacity. So you can use this also. So at the end of the day, you can tell, let's say for example, you have clients you want to refer, you can tell them na rather than getting an office na conventional and it ends up as wasted space at the end of the month, diba? Let's say I only use 3 square meters but I'm renting 50 square meters. I have to pay association dues of 50 square meters and also the rent of the 50 square meters. So now, I will only pay for my 3 square meters and just pay for additional services for meeting rooms whenever I need it. So at the end of the day, I still save. Okay. Okay, so basically, in our center, this is everything that you can, basically that comes with your office. So upon entering, you are greeted by our team. So as mentioned earlier, our reception team is your team. So you don't really need to hire your own receptionist now, especially if you're starting. And we take care of all of that for you. We also have a fully stocked cafe area and kitchen. So it's equipped with microwave, refrigerator, coffee machine, tea, water dispenser, cups, plates, saucers, glasses, everything. So just use them and then just drop it in the sink, and then our office assistants, Mark and Joel, will be the ones to take care of it for you. Okay, so it's fully serviced talaga. Okay, also, for video conferencing, we also have that facility here in CEO Suite. So just rent the video conferencing facility from us and book the meeting room. Then let us know when you need it. We'll take care of everything for you also. Okay. And basically, for the offices, it's fully fitted out because as I mentioned, it's a plug and play. You just need to bring in your laptops and you're good to go. Internet lines, cabling, electricity, lahat po yan ready na siya. You don't need to construct anything in your office. We'll actually take you to a tour later so you can visualize what an office space looks like. So internet and phone lines are already equipped inside the office. If anything goes wrong with the telephone lines, as opposed to having your own office at home, pag nasira po yung internet nyo, tatawag pa kayo sa PLDT, di ba? So, ang tagal-tagal nila ayusin. Dito, just let us know, give us 5 minutes, or, well, depends on how crucial the internet is, then we fix it for you. And then for phone lines also, it's actually I'll show you later also in the office. We use actually the high-tech advanced Cisco phone lines, which can do conference also, transfer, and of course, everything else. Okay, and then any questions so far? Go ahead, sir.
Operational hours.
Okay,
24 hours?
Yes, if you're renting an office with CEO Suite, then you have access to your office 24/7. CEO Suite team, kami po yun. We are here dedicated to service you also. However, we are just here from Mondays to Fridays, 8:30 to 5:30 p.m. But if you need any assistance on a weekend, please just let us know in advance so we can, of course, service you.
So they can stay till like 12?
Yes.
24/7.
Yes. However, I always encounter kasi questions from my clients if they can shower here and sleep here. So, that naman po, you can actually sleep here, but I cannot offer you any shower rooms.
So the air conditioning is on 24 hours a day?
All Makati buildings actually are centralized air conditioning. So, this will be turned on also during office hours like that.
So,
On Saturdays, it's on half day, 8 to 12. On Sundays, it's totally.
But if the operation is 24/7, is there a time na walang air conditioning? So,
Hanggang
Yes,
office hours lang.
operational hours lang siya. However, some of our clients, because of course they're starting, no, they're 2 people, 3 people, since electricity is part of the office rent, then you can actually bring in your own air coolers. Yes, to be more cost effective also. For BPOs, then I would understand kasi if they're a lot, because since it's centralized, you turn on the whole floor of air conditioning. We can actually also do that for you.
So far with your clients, what is the cheapest and the most expensive?
Usually for our anybody who inquires, we actually give them a ballpark figure kasi at the end of the day, it still depends on the office size that you'd be getting, as mentioned earlier. It depends on the size and the type of the office. So, for a 2-person office, one-person office na desk lang, it's from 15,000 to about 300,000. It really depends. If you get 2 offices kasi, for example, one office costs 30,000, the other one is 40. Add those together, so 70,000.
That's 15,000 per
1.5,
month.
yes,
Per
for
month?
offices, month, excluding 12% VAT, to as high as 250,000 for.
So that's
bigger
the highest
size.
200,000.
Yes. Yes.
So you're not planning to go beyond the office hours? Kasi some service offices, they go up to 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, like that.
You can actually have access to your office ng 24/7, but
You
you
know what I mean? Kasi di ba, close yung aircon, wala nang tao.
Yes.
So,
But they're still doing operations kasi it's just the air conditioning, but electricity, phone lines, lahat po yan are still working.
but there's no more staff like you said, di ba? Dapat-
Yes, yung CEO staff lang po ang
wala na. Kasi I've been offered 3, tatlo na yung nag-offer sa akin ng service residences. And one of them, yung nga, naglalas up until 12, 1 o'clock. But there's still people from their side.
Well, we're very clear naman po with our clients who ask naman during the tour kasi we take them to a tour. Of course, at the end of the day, we would want them to see the office and then after to discuss pricing. Kasi if I say that the office is for free, we would still want to see where it is, what it looks like also. So that's why we, of course, invite them over. And we're very upfront naman with all the arrangements para at least klaro po yun before they go into a contract with us.
Ang room ba, air conditioning lang, so walang other forms of cooling like electric fans?
Not po. But however, our clients have their right.
So we can bring our own, kasi di ba furnished yung bawat room?
It's furnished with a standard desk, chair, and mobile pedestal. But
so
all the other equipments, like if you want to make it more homey, you can bring in a sofa. Yes, then this is always possible. Wala naman pong extra charge for that. This is your office, so feel free to make it as how you can work and how to configure it.
Is there a parang shared workspace, like merong computers shared?
We actually don't have that room with computers na po na naka-built in.
For example, there's a spot for printing, photocopying, walang ganun.
Photocopying, yes. We have common area, scanning, faxing, binding, scanning area. So we have that. When we tour later, we will show you all the amenities also. I think we can do it by batches para at least go to my colleague Fritzy, she's our operations manager. She can actually take the second batch also. Then I can take the first batch.
My question is, when it comes to internet connectivity and reliability, what is your coverage minimum internet bandwidth upstream and downstream?
Yes.
Second one is it for the team? Number 3, is it for individual computer? And how much will be the cost if we go beyond on that minimum bandwidth?
Okay. Sige, upstream, downstream.
Okay, actually, our bandwidth is, yeah, okay. Again, my name is Fritzy. Our bandwidth is actually a shared, a 15 MB. 15 MB. 1.5, yeah.
With dedicated lease line to us.
Yes, regarding your question, it's actually not limited to a computer, so we don't have a bandwidth manager. So whatever is available that hour can be shared among all users.
So there's only one line, one
Yes.
internet connection.
Because other people down.
Because other people will be downloading, uploading.
Yeah, but we ensure that we monitor it, like, because we're actually using the same bandwidth. So if there's any unusual activity, we'd be able to know. We'll be the first one to know.
Don't you think it's better if you have a second line para just in case that line goes down?
It's actually an option, but so far we've been in the business for 9 years, and we're able to manage.
Actually, most service office providers also have just one line.
I mean, kasi some have more than two. I've been around in the service offices kasi, so they have separate. For example, they dedicate this for certain group of people, as VIP or.
Oh, that's possible also. That's what we call, kasi some clients, let's say for our ITs, who need heavy requirements, kasi yung activities nila would require really a higher bandwidth, then they have the option to get their own dedicated lease line. So actually, currently in this office, we have about 4 dedicated lease lines. Kasi marami po kaming big clients also who want their own po.
That's for the telephone.
No, for internet.
So you have four lease lines.
Actually, the provider for the telephone is different from the internet.
Yes, but one provider for internet, if that's what you're asking. Our
One
provider
provider
is Eastern
but 4
Telecoms.
lines.
Yes.
One provider but 4 lines.
Yes, marami po kaming lease lines. So the 15 Mbps that Fritzy has mentioned, this is excluding the clients who have their own lease lines.
That 15 Mbps is for each of those 4 lines.
No, it's actually
Shared. So there's only one line.
Oh, it's one line. But she was saying is those clients with heavy requirement, or if they require higher bandwidth,
They get their own line.
yes.
There's
Ah,
also
so
credit speed.
sariling initiative na namin to get our
Yes,
own
it's an
separate
option.
line. Kasi the reason I'm asking is because we all know that the internet connection in the Philippines is The second is lowest, di ba?
Yeah, but you know what we can assure you? If you in cases that you experience bad, we have a very good relationship with our ISP. So it's just one phone call away. They're
Could you
center
reveal
engineers.
which ISP?
Is there telecom?
Eastern Time.
Ah, Eastern. Okay.
Yes, it's a good one.
Kala ko Glover Investment.
No, I often Globe. Customer service wise, they're not good.
Yeah,
Uy,
yeah,
baka
yeah.
may Globe Tagaila.
Go ahead, boss. So able to answer your bandwidth question?
Yes.
po.
Yes, it is a share.
Upstream, downstream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I understand
yes.
that. As long as you have mentioned about the 15 MB.
Yes.
So it's dedicated 15 MB downstream 15 MB. And then the question is with regards to the options. It depends on the client requirements. For example, my company is more on video editing, so I need to have bandwidth, higher bandwidth for the upstream, so that I could render videos and submit to the client. So the next question would be, as a client, I have the option to get another vendor, or I need to get another internet provider. Do you have options that as a client I can get extra bandwidth coming from you instead of going to another vendor, because it is more cheaper by getting the bandwidth instead of getting another vendor, that the contract is 12 months to 24 months.
At the good ISP, automatic it's 1 year.
Yes.
No below 12 months. With us, we are able to negotiate that, as minimum 3 months, you can already avail. But of course, it depends on yung tenure mo sa amin. And yung question more that as needed. Yes, we also have like hourly and a daily charge for the internet. In the event that your current ISP is not working, it is also available.
So actually, our clients have two choices. Just to recap what Fritzy has said, our clients have two choices: either get the dedicated lease time from us, or you can bring in your own. However, if your clients bring in their own lines, they would still need to patch in through our IT room kasi, because the ports are being controlled by CEO. So then we would have what we call a privilege fee for putting in. Kasi it's not only the internet you're getting, but also the service that comes with it, the firewall from us, the security that when it goes down, kami pa rin po mag-handle nun. Yes. We don't naman let our clients, kunyari, pasok sila PLDT, kami Eastern. Pag nag-down sila, okay, bahala na kayo. Kasi kayo yan. No, it's not like that. That's why you're renting from us, because you're also getting the service that we provide you that comes with it.
How about security? Diba, office hours lang kasi kayo. How about yung, diba, you'll be sharing the office with other people. So there's a security guard posted.
That's correct. So I will show that to you later. It actually looks like a hotel green card, yung siniscan lang sa door. So yes.
So there's no
like that.
physical guard. Walang guard.
No, but however, after 5:30, those two doors in the front, they close. And if you notice, hindi po pwedeng mawala ng customer service representative outside. So from 8:30 to 5:30, there's always somebody sitting there. And our center is equipped with 24/7 CCTV as well.
Okay.
So very, very secure yan. So no, kung wala ka pong key card, you won't be able to enter.
And then may CCTV to record
That's
video.
correct.
Let's say I'm just a small business and I want to set 20,000 cap because sometimes I receive phone calls and I subscribe to your plan. So do you have something like that?
We can tailor fit an office price based on your budget.
Yes.
Yes.
Because sometimes the phone is national call, other outside calls. You
For
can set the
that,
limit.
we can actually bar also the IDD or the NDD if you want us to limit the phone use. Because the phones come with free local calls. But for NDD, IDD, we can actually give you a password. para every time lang you want to call, you need, if you don't know the password, then you won't be able to.
Or we could actually generate a report. Depends on if you want it on a daily basis or weekly basis, just to monitor your calls. We can do that. Of course, it depends.
Because sometimes when you do receive calls, you still accept.
Oh, for Manila, no incoming call? No, there's not. There's not charge.
Other countries. Their office.
No, since nasa Manila tayo, incoming na. That's for
Other countries.
Yeah, other countries they do. For incoming they charge. But for Manila, wala naman.
So do you set limit? Let's say I have budget only 20,000 per month.
Actually,
For the phone calls alone,
For the total service.
we can tailor fit that. However, of course, as mentioned to you at the end of the day.
Because you don't want to expect a surprise bill when you check the bill.
Yes, that's why we discuss all the pricing, what is inclusive before you enter a contract with us. Kasi we work also with the budget of the client. Like outright, when I do a tour with a client, I tell them if they're working on a budget, can I please know what the budget is? Kasi if the budget is 5,000 lang, and I'm offering 15, we need to be clear also on our expectations of each other also. Any questions po? Yes.
Since you also mentioned about the security, this is a virtual office. You have different clients. So as a client, let's say from the US or from the UK, I want my team to be, when it comes to the data transfer, I want everything to be secured. So since you have mentioned about the internet connections that we share to everyone, my question is, does our computers are publicly available on the other teams, or is it only this team can access computers within this team,
With the same LAN.
which is separate from the other team?
Actually, we have different like set plans for each.
Portland.
Yes, correct. So, like in the case of network printer, we would assign this specific, for example, it's not actually DNS, but for them to be able to see each other, kailangan iset namin siya ng pare-pareho.
But to answer your question, Office 1 cannot see the computers of Office 2. Yes, yes. Because that's of course one of the security measures also. And it also depends on, kasi yung company na yun, usually, pagka ganyan maraming tech, mas maraming techy na requirement, yes. Then, the IT team nila, sinaset din yung laptops nila. Kasi per laptop may firewall din siya. So, then it would depend also on your client's programs. Yes. Yeah.
You mentioned IT team. Do you have an IT team to support your
That's correct.
clients? So we can ask
We
them.
have 18 centers, so we actually have an IT team. They may not be physically here in Manila, but have to be
okay.
remotely.
So there's nobody, there's no one person. For example, we have visitors, we have guests.
Actually, meron po. Because our team members are also equipped with IT. Like Fritzy is an IT person. Yes. And but our IT managers and directors are actually
Kasi
so if Fritzy needs to go to upper management to seek for help, then she has.
Even the CSRs are actually, they're the ones programming the telephones, the internet. And if I may introduce Thea, she's our executive assistant. So she does the troubleshooting as well. So yung mga nag-greet sa inyo kanina, they're all actually, they know how to
multitask.
Yes. From greeting your clients to troubleshooting your internet. Yes.
all of your girls.
Actually, kayo nag-aayos ng
Hindi balance, walang boys. Ayun.
And we have one male CSR outside. Dalawa sila.
Pero the heads are all girls or women.
Yes. Actually, the CSR.
Girl power.
Girl power.
Any questions
Yung
po?
nakapunta na dito,
Yes, she drops by every week. Any questions po?